It's a wonder to me how I made it. It's a wonder to me how I still have love, even for those that hate me, even for those that criticize me. I just choose to to ignore, not forget, and focus on my spiritual growth, as well as the expression of myself as in now and not in the past. The past no longer defines me. I have come to a realization that growth brings disassociations. It disconnects you from certain people that are no longer needed in your life. People that are going to remind of the societal expectations, morals. Societal morals are okay, but if it infringes my freedom, I do not recognize it. For you to get an understanding of what purpose is, you should go through fire. You should go through fire. It is not an easy thing to be able to define yourself, to say, I am deliverance. Not I am my mother's name. I'm called Pink, but I'm not even Pink. You see, that is how the world chooses to define me. But I believe that when God creates us, He already has a name for us in terms of our mandate and purpose, in terms of what are we truly here for. You know, it takes a lot of strength and courage to deal that which is internalized plus that which comes from the external. People will come to you and tell you that I am tired, and you take it light. I'm exhausted, I'm drained, I just want to be alone. Fortunately, I've been there. So now when a person comes and say, I'm tired, I will delve deep. I'm fine. I'll ask you, a person, what are you fine from? Hence, I'm saying, I've come to a level where I have come to realize that out of all these traumas that has happened to me, there is something great that God had sent me for through these traumas. He did not give me the traumas. He did not give me the pain. He allowed the enemy to give me the pain so that his purpose may be sucked out of the pains for his glory. That is why there is this saying in those that follow Christ, that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Good morning once again. Welcome to Beyond the Mask, led by Mama Pinky. Let me first start by thanking everyone who has subscribed, who keeps on liking and sharing my videos. I see an increase in the number of followers. I truly appreciate it. Keep on following, keep on doing what you know should be right, and from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate. We only started in a few weeks, but there is an increasing growth, and it couldn't have been done without you. So I am truly humbled. I'm humbled also by the comments that I receive from various followers, different followers, those that are able to relate to what I've been through, those that are engaging with questions, and at this stage, to those that I haven't yet responded to, my apologies. I'm not ignoring you. I keep on going back to questions and comments, and it is not intentional that I may have skipped your questions. So I time and again keep on going back and check whom I did not respond to. Today I want to. There's a follower who asked me, Jorge, please, can you tell us about your feelings after having gone through this trauma? She indicated that this is too traumatic. Can we how do you go on? How do you feel? How do you go on day by day? Honestly, I've been avoiding to talk about this, but when the time is right, you will feel that you need to talk about it. You know, the issue of rejection has let me say, from the previous three videos, I spoke about rejection from the womb, the rapes, the manipulation, the losses in marriage, the struggles of my life, and the pretense that I got from people whom I thought they are close to me, as well as those that openly showed me that they do dislike me. It is not easy. Let me be honest. It is not easy to go to can say you are completely healed. There are deep scars that are there are deep scars that are awoken, especially when a person thinks that they understand and begin to criticize you or tell you how to think or make judgments about you. Rejection affected me in a sense that as I said in one of the videos, that it got to my it affected my confidence. I had a very low self-esteem. I couldn't fit anywhere. Remember, it's a spirit that got me during the formation state when I was within my mother's womb, both my parents rejecting me. So it's a spiritual foundation, this one. And when you come into this world, you also experience the same thing through your entire infant stage towards adulthood. How has it affected me? As I said, every time people would reject me, I didn't understand then, but now I do understand that it is a spirit that honestly I am at war with. Why am I saying it is a spirit that I'm at war with? If you understand the concept of altars in the Bible, I think in also in other religions, in other beliefs, like when you go to traditional doctors, you will see that there is a specific place wherein they will be having all their accolades that they use, whatever that they use, that is what is called an altar. An altar is where affirmations, agreements, and covenants are done. Now, if they are done, remember, God, no matter what you believe in, whether you are a Christian, a Muslim, or whatever religion you choose to, or the belief that you choose to follow, there will always be covenants. Covenants, it's a spiritual agreement that I am going to offer you this in exchange of this, as far as up to this particular generation. That is what we call a covenant. And out of a covenant, there are promises that is entering into the covenant, that when you give me ABCD, I promise to serve you in a particular manner. Now, I see the strength of the altar where I was covenanted, that it is a very strong altar. Is it frustrating to me? Yes, it is. It used to be very, very frustrating, this feeling of me being rejected, having been abused by my own mother, rejected by them, my marriage going wrong, people losing everything, people assuming things about me. However, I have come to an understanding that out of my experiences, that I may not have been going through this if I did not carry something special. There is no way that the spiritual world will wage such a serious spiritual warfare without me carrying something that is God-given, which unfortunately I do not yet understand. That has given me courage and strength to go on despite the ups and downs, the roller coasting of my emotions. Hence, I have decided to handle each day as it comes. As I'm busy probing solutions towards bringing down these altars, I am healing, because now I've got knowledge, now I've got understanding as to what is it that I'm fighting. The other challenge is how people perceive me. Before the podcast, even currently now, people will approach me either with judgment, either with understanding, either with confession, either with criticism. Had I not had the knowledge that I have today, I would have been again crushed. I would have fallen far beyond resuscitation. I wouldn't have recovered. But I thank God that today I understand that it is my cross. And I understand that whether you however I look at it, it can only be God who is carrying me in the midst of all these mixed emotions. Today I am very happy. Tomorrow I am so low. But the minute I become very, very low, as I said, I realize that they are busy in the spiritual world to suck and drain my energies. So out of this, I have learned the tactics of the spiritual game without me being taught or having been taught by a spiritualist, which has brought me to a conclusion that the Holy Spirit is the greatest teacher. Is the greatest teacher that I will forever appreciate. Nobody taught me these things. I had to read a lot of people that understand spirituality. I had to watch a lot of podcasts trying to find me in all this, not to duplicate what they have experienced. In their experiences, I was trying to locate where do I fit in, where do I fit in with regard to my journey, my painful journey. And another thing is that I no longer perceive it as painful, honestly, much as the emotions that I feel, I'm used to calling them painful. However, my view is beginning to change to say, when I go through that is painful, I begin to smile and say, I wonder what is it that I'm going to learn out of this particular situation of opposition. I become excited. I just need strength to go on and say, I know that I'm going to come out better. Why am I saying this? I encountered trauma in such a way that when I look at myself, I'm 55, turning 56 next week on the 28th. Ne? It's a wonder to me how I made it. It's a wonder to me how I still have love, even for those that hate me, even for those that criticize me. I just choose to to ignore, not forget, and focus on my spiritual growth, as well as the expression of myself as in now and not in the past. The past no longer defines me. I know people still would still look at me from my past to say she used to be arrogant, she used to be rude, she used to drink a lot. I look, when people do that and engages me on that, I understand. I've learned to come to look at facts more than opinions. When you speak a fact that, but you used to do this, yeah, you were raped, that's why you, it's a fact I was raped. I can't run away from it. It's a fact that my mother never loved me. It's a fact that my father rejected me. It's a fact that my family never loved me. It's a fact. When you try to attack somebody with something that is a fact, we lose control as a people that are not yet matured then. But when you have matured through the processes of these abuses, of these traumas, you will actually be able to calculate your maturity level in terms of your responses. How I respond now, it's way, way, way far different from how I used to respond. I used to respond with viciousness, with anger, with malice, with words, damaging words. But now I will assess how whatever that you perceive me to be, with whatever that will be happening around me. Maybe you are a friend, maybe you are a mother, maybe you are a daughter. I look at you and I smile. I always smile, thinking in my mind that I've been through far worse. Whatever that you think of me, honestly, it doesn't affect me. I have grown to an extent that I have learned that I can't stop anyone from thinking anything negative about me, but I am the one who is in charge and in control of my emotions. And I've also learned out of this that I'm the only one who knows my life story. I'm the only one who knows how I feel inside. I can express this. I can express it in depth that people are touched. They are touched. It's a momentary thing, but with me, it's a struggle within me. It's a struggle that out of it I have to either go down or come out better or best. Now, what I do in terms of my coping, whenever a person or a particular society makes a judgment or based on what I've been through or what I have done, I take that as a positive. I look at it and say, if I did not matter, they would not have had interest as opposed to before. Before, it would hurt me, it would kill me, it would destroy me. But now I would smile and say, wow, now that you are noting this, you are thinking that you are expecting a negative response. I'm not going to give away my power anymore. And I have come to a realization that growth brings disassociations. It disconnects you from certain people that are no longer needed in your life. People that are going to remind of the societal expectations, morals. Societal morals are okay, but if it infringes my freedom, I do not recognize it. I choose to live my own truth. I choose to, there are these words that Jesus said, whomever the Son of Man sets free is free, not just free, but free indeed. And after understanding the in-depth of those words, I have chosen freedom to say, it's okay. I understand how you look at me, how you have concluded about me, how you have judged me. I'm okay with it. It is your problem. I choose to live this life according to how it makes sense to me. It may be wrong. It may be right. Yes, it is part of life. No one is perfect. I am definitely going to make mistakes in the process of me being processed. I am. Because I am at the stage looking and searching for who I truly am without the traumas, without the names, without the memories. Because the more I absorb positive or good things that I have learned out of things, the better and the faster the cleansing in my heart. You see, if you can study the heart well, even with the scriptures, even with doctors, medically, the minute your emotions are boggled up with a lot of pain, with a lot of trauma, it overshadows everything in life. You will not attract anything positive because the heart is the carrier of ourselves. That is why when you have an evil heart, you will always breathe out evil. But when you've got a good heart, you will always even be good to the worst person. That is the abundance of what you possess or what is placed in your heart. This situation, I could have opted that the experiences that I had, I could have opted that I'm going to be a very vicious person and take revenge upon myself. especially to members of my family. Those people hurt me. But I look at them, I look at my entire relatives, all of them, starting from my mom, and I smile. I feel for them, that some of them, they watch me. Some of them, they listen to me. And I feel for them because they looking at me to say, who the hell does she think she is? This one. And at the same time, I feel pity for them. To say, only if you knew, if you could purge that which is evil that is in your heart, you're going to find the joy that I have, the peace that I have. You're going to offload these things that were taken as a traditional practice, as our family practice. You will live far beyond being defined by material. There's nothing wrong with material acquisition. There's nothing wrong with starting. But what is important is never to let those things define you. I call them things because we have a lot of people that are losing material every day. I have lost it. I have lost employment out of whatever that I was going through. Not that I was fired, but I resigned. But looking back now, I shouldn't have taken the decision of resigning. But because of not understanding and not well being equipped, I say, I did. I took a wrong turn, but I have to face the consequences of my actions. But now you look at my relatives, my mother, you look at all those people that know that they threw stones at me unknowingly, being innocent at that time, fighting this that even today I still do not understand. How could you do that to an innocent being? How do you rape your own cousin? How do you abuse your own child? Now, them looking at me this stage, at this time, being defined and processed and still being processed, because from one test I've learned that when you pass this test, you go to another test. That is how life works. It is never a smooth sailing. But looking at them as they are looking at me now, I smile. I say, they are frustrated. It further increases their venom within them, without me even, luckily, because we have cut relations. So they are venting alone. Now I'm okay. And I've made peace with it to say, Father, I thank you that you allowed these traumas in my life just to show your glory that it can be survived. So I hope you getting, I'm making sense to especially those that have been asking me, how am I coping with life? I've learned to appreciate little things. Little things. You give me 5 rand, you don't know how blessed I feel. My losses has taught me to value each and every little thing, to value each and every person that says, wow, you're doing well. Wow, how did you get it? It means so much. I look at myself then and I said, I got blessed very young, but the enemy took everything away. I say, thank you, Lord, because I wouldn't have been this humble person. Now, my faith teaches me through Christ that all things worketh together for good for those who trust in the Lord according to his purposes. Now, for us, for the purpose of God to be fulfilled through us as those that are created by them, we need to allow God to do it his way. Because on our own, honestly, we don't even know what the meaning of life is until we find out what purpose is. And for you to get an understanding of what purpose is, you should go through fire. You should go through fire. It is not an easy thing to be able to define yourself to say, I am deliverance. Not I am my mother's name. I'm called Pink, but I'm not even Pink. You see, that is how the world chooses to define me. But I believe that when God creates us, He already has a name for us in terms of our mandate and purpose, in terms of what are we truly here for. Removing the accolades such as jobs and status and studies. What are you here for? If God was to take that away from you, will you be able to stand in the midst of having nothing, in the midst of having lost your kids, in the midst of discovering a lot of secrets that unfortunately we find in families today? I have come to realize that many families are built on secrecy of filth. You'll find in families that there's only one child who is sacrificed for the benefit of other family members. This particular one child is struggling, yet they are very intelligent. They are okay, but there is stagnation. You can pray for them, you can conduct counseling, you can do whatever, but they will not move. It's because of family secrets. And that is what makes me very compassionate when a person calls me and say, Mama, I have this challenge. Somebody was asking me, who are you in the spirit? I said, I don't know. Can you assist? Said, go find out. And I thank God that I found out. And it gave me joy that God trusted me with such pain for His purpose. Any other person that has gone through the same experiences that I have been through, some of them are completely depressed. They can't find a way out. They can't find an understanding out of this. Most of them are in mental institutions. Most of them right now, they have everything, but because of that, they have everything because they had to take it in their hands now. Use whatever powers to get that material, to prove a point to someone that I will show you. I could have opted for that. I mean, media is exposing everything, who to contact, which sangomas, whoever is able to. I have that choice upon my shoulders to say, I'm also going to do it. Life was never fair to me. But I always check what makes me survive. I look back and I say, yo, how did I make it? It can only be God. Don't I have setbacks in some days? I do. I really do. I do it, especially as I indicated, I'm a pastor. There's a lot of expectations from me. I'm expected to be like I'm from heaven. I'm not from heaven. I was born of a woman. I'm going to do mistakes. And now I'm in a position of being a pastor, where in one slip, I'm not saying my church is going to do that, but where in one slip, I will have to be accountable to them. Am I not scared? I'm not scared. I have come to a level that out of the traumas and the situations that we have been through, some of us they feel gratification when they pinpoint your mistakes and they forgot that they have been through the same journey. And I look at them and I already tell there is no complete healing in a person who considered themselves to be gods or judges over my life. I would have been angry before, but now I do not become angry. The minute you think you are the Alpha and Omega of how I should handle things, I already tell that this one has got unsolved issues. There are certain doors that are not yet closed that he dealt with, whether it be traumas or experiences or healing, that are still open. He needs help, but he doesn't recognize that. We see this happening, especially in churches. Churches are very good at attaching judgment texts upon people that are the same, that have got the same blood as them, and judge them, especially when you are in a position of authority. That is why most people are hurt by churches, because churches are not filled with people that are perfect. Churches are filled with broken people. That is why they are easily manipulated. These people want to be healed by somebody else without taking time to visit themselves. I've said about this song, I'm not so sure who sings it. I've been to California, I've been to Georgia, but I've never been to me. How do you make sense of the counseling or the help that you get from outside when you have never had a meeting with yourself and try to make sense and say, let me talk to myself? How you survive this? Yes, at first it will not be easy, but practice makes perfect. When you have been through something that is traumatic, you look at the whole world and say, am I the only one? I'm telling you, most people have been through trauma. It's a struggle for them daily. But they have taken a decision. They have taken a decision to say, I'm going to go on. They have taken a decision to look back and say, I'm gonna go on until I lose my breath. But to those that unfortunately have committed suicide, to those that have been overpowered by these pressures, I also understand. It takes a lot of strength and courage to deal that which is internalized plus that which comes from the external. People will come to you and tell you that I am tired, and you take it light. I'm exhausted. I'm drained. I just want to be alone. Fortunately, I've been there. So now when a person comes and say, I'm tired, I will delve deep. I'm fine. I'll ask you, a person, what are you fine from? Hence, I'm saying, I've come to a level where I have come to realize that out of all these traumas that has happened to me, there is something great that God had sent me for through these traumas. He did not give me the traumas. He did not give me the pain. He allowed the enemy to give me the pain so that his purpose may be sucked out of the pains for his glory. When we talk about the glory of God to be shown through us, as well as we talk about the kingdom, we're talking about his. That is my experience. I'm not preaching, but that is my experience. When we say, let thy kingdom come. Kingdom is about rulership. It's about somebody who is in charge. It's about somebody who is in control, no matter the situation. Now, when we say that in our prayers, we're saying, let through me, you have promised me not to leave me nor forsake me. Through me, you have seen it fit that your glory, your kingdom will be seen through me when I overcome these tests, when I come out as a victor, as a conqueror. That is why there is this saying in those that follow Christ, that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things through him. But on your own, on my own, I will not be able to. We're talking about a spiritual tank from which we derive our powers from, which is within. Most of the time, as I say, we look for that from outside, but it is within. It's just that we have not been taught to activate it through these experiences that are terrible and traumatic in our lives. That is how I go on. I've also discovered that talking heals me. As I talk to somebody that says I am going through ABCD, whatever the solutions that I advise through leading, I do not provide solutions, guys. Please, I do not. In my counseling, they can attest, those people that I am engaging with. I just help you find your own solution, because it will differ from one person to another, dependent on your strength, dependent on your understanding, dependent on your capacity and ability to do it. My role is to assist you in you finding your own direction. Why am I saying this one? I know it's my purpose. After 55 years, I know now that is my purpose. Mine is to deliver you to find yourself. How did I get here? Because somebody was asking me, where did you do your research? I am the research myself. My life is my research, because I engage with myself before I engage with other people's ideologies. When I go to other people's ideologies, is to compare myself to them in terms of their thinking, in terms of how they derived their solutions. If I find, or their healing, if I find something that I couldn't work out or map out, and I see it as a tool that I can use for empowerment and healing, I gladly, what will I say? I marry it into my capacity tank. That is what I do. That is how I cope. How do I cope to negative comments? Negative. There will always be negative. Wherever there is positive, wherever there is light, there is darkness. And I'm living consciously, knowing that when I'm doing this, I am icky, I'm irritating, I'm annoying someone. Expect negative attack. And you already are ready. You prepare yourself in the spirit. You prepare yourself in the physical, that I know that there is going to be a counter attack. And you then take out all your tools to be able to protect or cope and sail, because at the end of the day, it all comes to an end. It comes to an end by virtue of finding a solution. It comes to an end by virtue of you giving in. It comes to an end by virtue of maybe dying before your time. Before you actually find the appropriate answer that will equip you towards being that which you will never be. Most of us we think we are, but we are not. We are how we have been conditioned and programmed to be, but we are not who we are. And it is a journey that all of us must take. I was talking to someone today that we are being programmed, we are being conditioned to think in a particular manner, to conduct ourselves in a particular manner. When are we actually going to experience who we are? The minute we are born, I'm not saying we shouldn't be born into families, but I'm saying where we are born influences the way we think, influences our behavior. However, when we become into adulthood, we now start a new journey of saying, besides all these traumas, besides all these influences, besides all these family traditions, who am I? Where does it come from? It comes from when you are an adult now, you look at the birth of a newborn baby. The newborn baby comes into this world with nothing in his mind, not knowing even how to cry. When a child is born, they force him to cry, to bring out that breath. It's already an indoctrination. I'm not so sure, I'm not a midwife. I'm not so sure as to, is there any baby who comes into this world crying? I'm not a nurse. But what intrigues me is that every new baby is taught by the environment within which they are born. And then it makes me question certain things which people are uncomfortable to talk to and say, this is our tradition. I said, you are born into a tradition, but you are not a tradition. Everyone can start his own tradition. Everyone can start his own practices, beliefs that says, I, Pinky, this is what I believe in. You're going to say, but you believe in this Christ. And you are not born into Christ. Yes, very true. And I'm forever going to believe in him. I do not know him. I have never seen him. I do not believe that the photos that are posted are his photos. It's not true. Where were they when they took his photos? We are sold a lie. But I am saying, me believing in this Christ, it's like you and me believing in God. We have never seen God. Even all traditions believe in a creator, the Almighty. And it is the Almighty that I choose to call Christ. I have made a choice. You can choose to call it whatever. And I've made to believe. It's my choice. I am allowed to make my own choices. Do not hammer me that, but you can't say traditions, but this, yes, traditions are man-made. It's a fact. But with the teachings of Christ, it's all about liberation. He even questions traditions. He even questions the moral standards that are set. That is why in his scripts he would say, you are coming with your man-made laws and you are making people to carry laws that you can't even carry. He is stressing that listen to the men inside. Just listen. That is why he said to all of us, the kingdom of God is within you, not outside. When you take these things from outside, it's going to be a burden. There are expectations set by these laws. And when you fail these expectations, you are now character assassinated by the society. Now I'm on a journey of discovering who am I. I am. With all these packages, and I appreciate, let me tell you, now, it's only now that I appreciate it. I think if you can check my videos, some of the videos I'm in pay. But now I'm beginning to recognize that, look at it from a different angle. You here, you stronger than those that have never been through that. They are even scared to can experience what I experienced, but you're still standing. I just want to say to all of us that are going through, do not focus on the pain. Is it easy? No, it's not easy. But find the strength within you to question, why me being given this pain? Why me being given this, people having the right to tell me how to live my life? Why me, people having the audacity to judge when I don't judge them? There is something very, 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 very powerful. It's an understatement. Atomic bomb in you. And that is why all these discouragements, so that you shouldn't exercise the mandate given to you by God. Do not focus on that. That is why God is raising most of us through this podcast that have gone through that, to say there is, I have this belief that there is a soul that is assigned to specific soul. Whoever you feel comfortable to talk to that person. That is your destiny helper. There is somebody who will be able to guide you, not to advise, but guide you, because the advice is within you. It's just that there's a lot of forecast shadows over your life. You can. My role, our role as victims of all these things is just to guide one another. We do not have solutions. Your solutions are going to differ from mine. How you make sense out of this is going to differ from mine. But the fact is that the experiences are somehow similar. And if I could maneuver, you will maneuver in your own way. You will find joy in your own way. You will find your completeness, your souls. You'll be able to call your soul back together. And when, whatever that they say, honestly, you will not pretend that you don't care. You don't care says that you note it. I don't care. Obviously, you are not. But when you come to this level, you don't even feel it. You smile. You understand it's about them. It's no longer about you. That is how I feel. I hope I have answered all of you. We want to move into a deep unveiling of concepts such as relationships, of questioning things that we don't want to question. We are afraid to question because we will be told we are blaspheming. We will be told that we are being rebellious. I think the next that we have exhausted, unless we get guests that will be coming, but we are going to begin questioning, not criticizing, please. There's a difference between criticizing and questioning. Out of questioning, we are seeking to understand your angle of understanding things, because we don't understand it in the same manner that you understand. People confuse criticizing and questioning. Thank you.